Finally, the roadmap is coming, guys. Welcome back to Corky Gachas, and in this video, we're going to touch on two main things. And first thing, we are going to touch on the roadmap, and the roadmap for quarter 2 is coming for Eversoul. And the reason why this is so important is because mostly people want to see what is coming before they can decide whether to draw, especially also on Arki, right? If you know that the next banner coming is going to be super attractive, then maybe you don't want to draw on Arki. And I do know some people are like this, right? They want to save, and although the exact kit for the units are not going to be released until closer to the banner's date, they can also see, right, especially free-to-play players, the limited Everstones, they can see what they want to pull for, potentially based on like visuals also. So what waifus you're going to come and where your Everstones are going to land. So here they did mention that the quarter 2 roadmap is being prepared, and then it will be revealed closer to the end of March. But they do have a teaser for us, right, which is over here. You can see for the next event, right, this event is likely going to be a school team event. So you can see Lindsay in uniform. This is likely going to be Claire as well as Yuria, and then there is Memphis. So I don't know exactly which ones of the costumes you are going to get in the shop, but if I were to guess, it's probably going to be Lindsay as well as Claire. So this is the roadmap, and it will be covered by, of course, the director of Eversoul. And they did put that Keith Murphy is 15 years of age. I'm 100% sure the director of Eversoul is not 15 years old, right? But I do think they're referencing Memphis' age, so yeah, we can only stay tuned to it. But so far, only this event has been teased, and we will see that in the end of March. The second thing I want to touch on is the patch notes preview for the March 30th patch, right? And it doesn't look that attractive, to be honest. I'll also share a bit on my thoughts about the current state in this game. So right now you can see the events that are coming. First things first is, of course, the pickup banner for Mariam. We already know that from the previous calendar teaser, they do have Mariam on it, so we know that Mariam is coming. But the fact is that Mariam is only coming like a week after Catherine's banner ended. So Catherine's banner officially ended, and yet there is no Mariam banner street. I'm not sure why they want to do this. Like, I do think it's necessary to always have like a banner running, right, so that you can incentivize people to spend. That's how the game can get revenue, as well as also keep them alive and afloat, so that they can produce more higher quality content. But whatever it is, it's only going to come out on March 30th. And also the guild rate chart, right, which is have been already mentioned, that the changes in previously I've mentioned in another video, right, whereby they are going to change the guild rate system, and they are going to make it such that it's going to be a single rate, but all the scores are going to be added up, so that eventually you get the guild score and you determine the rankings that way. This is also because previously it required high amounts of communication, and people did sound off that they don't really like it, right? It's a bit too try hard, and they have a single raid boss with a single stage, a single HP bar, so the weaker players will not be able to challenge towards the later stages, and it felt a bit non-inclusive, right, especially for them, because the boss will straight up like one hit KO them, and they don't feel like they have been contributing to the guild rate, which is why the guild rate system is being revamped. And here you can see the guild rate revisions, right, although we've mentioned previously, the guild rate revisions are as such. For a summary, the guild rate bosses will no longer share HP across guild members. Everyone will have their own individual guild boss that they will progress on their own pace, and the guild rate boss is no longer defeated, but will have multiple lines of HP. Technically, it's just infinite HP, right? So as the boss HP is being brought down, the boss's attack will increase. The accumulated attack buff applied to the boss will reset when the next party's battle starts. So no longer will the boss start with high amounts of attack stats, which means that they will not be able to one-hit KO you right when the battle starts. So a bit battle from a quality of life, right, from that aspect. And also there will be a participation reward. The participation will be changed from 3 times to 1 time, so you can only participate 1 time. However, you have to preset the 3 parties at once, right? So simply put, previously when you were to attempt the first try, you attempt with 1 team, right, but you're given 3 tries, so you can attempt with 3 teams in 3 separate tries. However, now it's just 1 time, but all 3 teams will participate at the same time. So the implications is that you basically cannot reuse your keepsakes, you cannot reuse your artifacts, because they are trying to cut down on people using duplicates, right, especially like the Petra, Catherine, stuff like that. And also you will be not able to reuse the treasure itself, which previously I mentioned you can use the treasure, same type of treasure in the same group 3 times, so now you can't do that. Although I would say that it might still be beneficial to duplicate your Catherines, because Catherine wise the invincibility is the main highlight, right? Although you don't get the benefit from having additional HP regen from the artifact being reused, you can just use someone else's artifact that you're not going to participate in the guild battle with, and then you'll get the set bonus, just that you don't get the extra HP buff. So I still do think that there is merit in having duplicate units, but maybe not Petra, because previously they did mention that Petra bypassed the attack down buff, right? Meaning if she would to reflect full damage, which is why she was so crazy OP. But I think that she's going to be heavily nerfed with the fix itself, and now no such thing is going to happen, right? So next, they also mentioned that when you try the battle on the next day, the guild boss will have the HP reset. So basically what it means is that throughout that one try, the HP would remain, so your third team would be technically fighting the strongest guild boss. So you really want your strongest teams to be on the third fight itself, right, instead of having the first fight. So weaker teams can go on the first fight. That is what I would advise based on what I've seen currently. But the next day itself, the HP will go back to like 1 HP bar again. So your weakest team can once again go fight the first boss, and then the subsequent HP bars will be fought by your stronger teams. That's what I interpret this. And then the score calculation wise, the damage inflicted on the guild raid boss in the 3 consecutive battles will be turned into scores, then recorded. So like I mentioned, everything add up together. If you inflict higher damage on the next day, it will replace your current best score. Meaning if you were to not bypass your previous day's score, right, it would not overwrite, but you will still add up using your best score. So don't worry if you can't like play on all the days, although optimally you do want for participation rewards. But if you really can't make it, right, the day itself, the second day itself, right, the high score will still be retained. So at the end of it, you'll still have the high score being added to your overall guild score. So that is quite good. After the end of battle, you can either confirm or and save the current score, or cancel and do the battle again. So this is similar to our current flower event, whereby you are able to retry at the end of it, or even if you die, right, so that you can just retry. You don't have to be forced to accept the score, given that sometimes in guild battles especially, the guild boss might out of a sudden just KO you with a laser, right, and then you are not satisfied because you think that you can survive longer if you played it better. So this is very good for people trying to min-max. And then the best scores of each member, like I mentioned, we sum up, determine your guild's final score, and ultimately determine the guild's ranking. And also note that it is not accumulating scores during the entire guild raid, but only sum out the best scores of your guild members. So if you feel like you have already reached your best score for today, you can use the skip feature for the next day by choice, meaning you can just keep on skipping if you don't want to like min-max your damage itself for the next following days, right, of the guild raid. So you only have to do technically the first day, and if you don't want to min-max, just continue skipping the tries from the rest of the days. So personally, I think this is a great feature, because the casuals wouldn't want to constantly try to min-max and have to hit their previous day best score again, right? So having the skip feature would ensure that you are also able to get the participation rewards at the click of a button. While this, you're not able to min-max, but more importantly, you have the participation reward. So definitely good news. I really like it. And then reward itself, the participation reward and the victory reward will be removed and replaced with the following rewards: personal accumulated record reward, and this is just similar to your flower event, whereby you have a cumulative score, and once you hit that, you're going to get your rewards instantly. And also there is also going to be a end of the guild raid reward, which is going to stay, right? However, the brackets, as I've seen, right, it's slightly different now. The brackets are being segmented further, so that there is also incentive for people to push higher. Even for those, I think 101 to 500, there's also incentive, right, instead of just having the top 100, which is really very non-inclusive once again, I think. And now moving on to the new systems, this is what we have seen previously, which is a higher grade soul release function being added, and you'll be now able to release epic and epic plus grade souls that have rich origin +5 for mana crystals as well as memory shards. Honestly, the exact numbers have to come out before we know if it's really worth it, but for most of us, this is a non-issue, because we wouldn't have O +5 units. This is mainly just for whales, because they have no way to spend the epic units itself other than through fodder, but the exact numbers will determine whether it's more worth it to use it for fodder or to exchange it for mana crystals and memory shards. For the love story, the affection points will no longer decrease, although they did say that the previous update should have this, but they didn't actually deliver that on the previous update. I do know some people are quite upset about that, but now for any affection, like any units whereby your affection is below 1000, instantly it will be raised to 1000 at time of maintenance, and then it will be changed and to fixed at 1000. So you can map only go up, never go down. This is very good, especially when you have more and more souls, right? That you talk to them, do their quests on a daily basis. Eventually, you're going to have everyone at 3,000. The part-time jobs is going to be completed faster. They're going to rest and also be rejuvenated faster. So this is overall going to increase your town income. And next, a button will pop up that allow you to check the next love story ever talk message. This is quite important because oftentimes you have the soul whereby you're trying to progress with the love story. They talk a lot, but they talk very slowly. The message will slowly come out. It's a bit too realistic for me, honestly. So now they're just going to have a button whereby you can just instantly check the next love story ever talk message and can progress with your mission, your love story itself, right? To level up your bond souls. And next, we are going to have the town. We are going to unlock 10 more max rest slots, and this can be bought for 5,000 town coins or 1,000 Everstones. So personally, I don't think it's worth it to buy it for 1,000 Everstones. Of course, it's going to be for 5,000 town coins. I haven't exactly go and work out the details. I don't know when it will like break even when you think about it, right? Is it really needed? How many rest slots do we really need? Is it now beneficial for us to buy more part-time job buildings given that there are more rest slots? All this have to be explored. I cannot give you guys an answer right now, but I will definitely go and look into it because I also personally want to min-max this part of the game. Okay, then for a guild, you are now able to reset your guild skills. You will consume 300 Everstones, but it's of course the guild master's Everstones, right? And miscellaneous, you'll be now able to check the artifact skills. This one is just quality of life, notification. On the arc button, if there's a soul that you can auto select to ascend, okay. Now the notification alarm will be placed if there's a unit or slot that open using lives of life, okay. Just basic quality of life changes and changing BGM in beta. I'm not sure how relevant this is going to be, but overall this is all the patch notes. But personally, I do think that I'm quite disappointed in one thing, and that is the change to Arena is not being released on this patch. I thought that it's going to come out quite soon, but turns out they are kind of pulling it back. I'm not sure why, but right now Arena and Champions Arena have no function except for just clicking for points, right, like I mentioned. So I really wanted to see it being in this patch notes, but once again we are not being shown this, and that's quite disappointing. But we can just hope that it will come soon enough, right? Especially for those that really want to compete in the game, right? That is going to be very, very good. Also, something that I'm quite concerned with is the lack of content. I do think that there is going to be huge content updates in the future, but especially for this week, if you think about it, the pickup banner is not being released. Not that we're going to pull on it, but there is like a void in this week, and it's not just for whales, right? Also for the light spenders like me, some free-to-play players have also cleared their battlefront, so there is not much for people to do, especially when it comes to the gameplay loop of the game. I'm not sure if this is going to be a popular take. I do know a lot of whales are just bored with the game in general because there's no place for them to use their strong units, and also this ties in with the fact that there's a 3-week cooldown when it comes to guild raid, right? This is where the whales would really want to excel in, they want to compete in, but you have such a long cooldown. I'm generally not in favor of that. I do think the game would benefit a lot more if they were to release more chapters at once instead of just like lining up a new chapter with a release of a new hero or new unit. Otherwise, it's going to come out very slow. Like the chapter, we can clear it very, very fast, especially when you have already cleared the previous chapter. I do want to see them release more chapters at once so that more people can enjoy the gameplay loop all the time, right? Not just waiting for the new event to come. And speaking of it, the events last generally too long in my opinion. 21 days plus a 1-week cooldown. I think it's a 1-month one event and there's a void of 7 days. I do find it a bit unnecessary. So that's just my opinion. I'm not sure if it's your opinion as well. Do leave a comment in the comment section below to let me know what you guys think of the current state of the game. Also, if you're interested to see what a whale account looks like, definitely check out this video over here where I showcase a $4,000 spent account. I'll see you guys over there. This is Corky Gachas, signing off.